Let's bring in Darren Rovell, the founder of Collect Media. What would you do if you had the home run ball?
Depends on the trade. So if I engaged in a trade, because after the greatest game in baseball, regular season baseball history, I would love to have a picture with Shohei. I might trade the ball if he were willing to give me something else on his body. So I might get a picture. I might take the jersey, but usually they don't do that. Usually they just give you a random bat or something else. Like I would need his exact cleats. So it would have to be some trade and a picture because pictures are just going to become more and more valuable. Now, let me just tell you this, Dan. So, because people have asked me this nonstop. What does Shohei own? So he owns his cleats, his bat, and his batting gloves. The team, at least per the collective bargaining agreement, owns the hat, the batting helmet, the jersey, the pants, and the socks. Now they could give it to him, but those are just rules. And the fan, of course, owns the ball once it goes. And so that's kind of how it works. But I'm thinking originally I thought this ball was around $500,000. But now I think because it being associated with, and I checked with my guy, Dave Schoenfield at ESPN, who is my historian, he says it's the greatest single game performance ever, taking outside all the other factors, whether it's a World Series or not. Given that, I think this is at least $1 million ball.
Would you hold on to it for a decade, as Paulie was suggesting?
I agree with Paul that it's not going to happen again, although I would fear that Ohtani would do it again. So
I don't think he's going to get this chance again.
Okay.
If he goes back to pitching, he's a DH. He's not going to be running as much. He's only missed 3 games this year. So I don't see him running.
Like anything, it depends on how much money means to you in the moment, but most of these things, the milestones, as they happen, if you look at history, the Mark McGwire ball, the Sammy Sosa ball, that Mark McGwire ball in the moment, or at least when it traded, was worth $3 million. That ball, you never know what happens over time. That ball today is probably worth around 120,000.
Yeah, that's another thing. But you did have controversy attached to that. Let's assume that Shohei Ohtani, there is no controversy, no asterisk, none of that. It's like Michael Jordan.
Why would you assume that, Dan?
It's like Michael Jordan's shoes. If you sold them 10 years ago and you got whatever, $120,000,
now they're millions. Yeah.
Yes. I wonder if holding on to a baseball, and plus you got a worldwide market there too for Shohei Ohtani.
I mean, the Asian market is rabid. You could even see that with his cards. Spoke to a memorabilia dealer in Los Angeles, and he said, yes, it is a worldwide market. And I think the statistic is 80% of Japanese this year who traveled from Japan to Los Angeles showed up at Dodger Stadium.
Wow.
Wild.
That is a big market. The person who catches is the ball got a special marking on it they have to authenticate, and do we know who has it?
Yeah, so our Matt Lieberman, who does, he's done a lot on authenticity, confirmed with baseball last night that before the game they hadn't marked anything, obviously because he needed 1 stolen base and 2 home runs. But in the 6th inning, after he hit his 49th home run, they started marking the balls, and then they have, there's someone marking which ball is going into rotation. So they know the number and what the infrared or whatever the secret marking is looks like. That allowed the guy to leave the stadium. So in most cases, and the only times we've really seen it is recently, Aaron Judge, when he got to 59, 60, 61, 62, those balls were marked. And now the Ohtani balls were marked right after 49. That allows someone to leave the stadium. In any other case, if you leave the stadium, forget about it. Also, in any other case, once it goes into the stands, baseball will no longer authenticate it for you because who knows whether someone's pulling a second baseball from their pocket.
Wow. Now, okay.
By the way, if this was in Dodger Stadium, no one would have because center field, there's nothing. I mean, it would have been baseball's property or Otani's property. It's kind of interesting.
But did you have the information that this was an 18-year-old high school senior on his birthday who had the ball and it was ripped out of his hands?
Yes. So this is our story up right now. This kid, Max Mattis, he was turned 18 yesterday, went with his father's real estate firm. They got those seats in the bullpen. There were 15 of them there. And his father's associate, Ryan Wold, was the guy who I think he missed it with his left hand by about 5 inches. It bounced off the table. He missed it with his right hand, like it touched his fingertips, fell below. And this kid, Max, he was standing like right beside the bullpen. He ran in, and if you see some of the videos, he's in the red. And he runs in from the, if you're looking at it, left-hand side, a couple guys running from the right-hand side, and this guy in a black shirt, they're fighting for it. Max told us he got in some sort of lock. He had the ball and then lost it to this guy. This guy was whisked away by security, but he is in class this morning, and he did tell me he got a full night's sleep, knowing that he gave it the best effort.
Wow. On a side note, how strong is the Caitlin Clark memorabilia market?
It's pretty strong. I mean, the ticket for there's going to be plenty of tickets, but at least the first signed ticket from her debut went for more than $10,000. We have a story up on Collect too that the record card price came in. Was I think it's more than $80,000 a couple days ago. So it's there. It's definitely there. She's holding up and captivating the world more than I thought she would.
Great to talk to you as always. Thank you.
You got it.
All right.
Thanks, Dan.
Darren Rovell, Collect Media. Figured he'd have all the information. Interview the kid who had the ball